Leeds United made the most of their second chance in the European Cup against Stuttgart, the team they say has more foreign reserves than the Bank of England. Leeds won 2-1 in Barcelona in front of a tiny crowd. Their hero was Talkign Shutt. He scored the winner less than a minute after coming on as a substitute, and tomorrow's his birthday.
Hello and welcome to episode 160 of the Talkign Shutt podcast. No, as you'll see or hear, no Gary this week. He's taken the Liverpool defeat incredibly badly.
Not that badly.
So he's no longer here. So you're going to have to put with me, Raggy, as your
At least
host.
we found you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like, everything's changed. Last time I did this, we were sat in my kitchen, and now we found a new home. So we are live. I'm joined to my left and your right, if you're watching it, by Mike. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, glad to be back.
Good. And to my right, your left, Ben. How are you, Ben?
Good. Yeah, good.
We've got
Good
holiday
stuff.
next week, so.
Yeah, well, you got your flip flops on already.
He's already on holiday.
Yeah.
Well, no, right. The story of the flip flops is that I wore some trainers on. I watched the game on Sunday, and I got big, massive blisters. Look at blisters.
Yeah,
I don't want to
Yeah.
see
there's
that.
a lesson there, guys. Don't walk to the game.
Yeah, don't walk.
Don't
Don't walk anywhere.
Just
Yeah.
drive everywhere. Drive. So yeah, you join us here at our new home. It's very nice, isn't it? We are at Midfield Stadium. That's home of Ossett United. So we are in Kelly's Bar, and we will be for the foreseeable. So
And you're welcome to come and join us.
come down on a Wednesday from 7:30, and you can join us and have a pint with us and listen to our absolute nonsense as we decry what's going on in the world of Leeds United. And I don't think we've got much to talk about, have we, from this week?
No, it
No.
should be a quiet one.
Yeah, not much to discuss. So yeah, there's a massive elephant in the room, and it was obviously Sunday's game. So obviously, let's start off with that. First things first, kind of our first real kind of introduction as football-going fans of a 4:30 Sunday kickoff.
Yes.
For a long time. Obviously, I'm sure Sky had Super Sundays back when we were first in the Premier League.
The
but
Barclaycard
I can't
Premiership.
remember really as much. But how did you feel about that? Because it was strange. For me.
Yeah, it was quite weird. With the more sort of the time we got home on a Sunday night were a bit weird.
Yeah.
Planning my weekend for a 4:30 kind of kickoff for football was just odd.
Yeah.
It just felt odd. Obviously, last season we had them, but you were going to be watching it at home. So
Yeah.
to actually be kind of planning to go down the football did feel weird. But
I mean, I suppose the good thing was it was like home and then straight onto NFL Sunday, which so.
Yeah, it was nice to not have an entire weekend ruined as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Because I was feeling pretty low by the time I got home. But how did we feel going into the game then, Mike? Were you confident? And I will hold my hands up here, and obviously I've dropped the ball massively with Raggy's predictor. But I have caught up with that, and obviously we will look at those look at them in the segment later on. But looking at the predictions from last week's episode, everyone was quite confident going into it. So was that still replicated on Sunday before the game?
No, simply because we believed at the time that they were going to be missing Thiago, all the Brazilian players. We thought that was the big factor. So I fancied us, obviously Alisson makes a massive difference for them. Thiago, Firmino. So yeah, I thought if we miss Rafinha, we can replace him with Dan James. And then they're kind of hit with the sucker punch. But obviously it wasn't, it didn't take effect. And but going into it,
It was quite weird how long it took for him to sort that out.
Yeah.
It was all very hush until sort of later on in the sort of week one
maybe
or weekend.
Maybe a certain manager had a word with the the Brazilian FA.
Well, yeah, maybe it
You're
did.
saying that people influence people.
Oh well, I don't know, allegedly. Yeah. No, we were quietly confident. I mean, Gaz. I remember talking to Gaz as we were queuing up, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know about this. Don't know about this now." And as he said that, I was like, "Yeah."
I'll be brutally honest. Where I stand in the Northwood, to my left now, I get a different person every week, so it's not a season ticket holder. And the guy next to me on Sunday was particularly drunk, and he asked me, what do I think? And I said I wasn't very confident at all. And he said it'll be 1-1. I said I'd take it.
That's why he was blathered.
Yeah. He said it'll be 1-1. I'm telling you, it'll be 1-1. I said before kickoff, I said I'd take that.
Yeah.
For that. And then let's get into the meat of it. The meat of it. How did we see it going? What do we think? Especially, let's look at the first half.
Yeah,
we pretty much just got battered, didn't we?
I mean,
it was like the most. It was a bit like the Crew game, but opposite. Like the Crew game was very one-sided with all Leeds, and this was pretty much all Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, when we hit on the break, it lifted the entire place, and we were like, "Come on, show him his teeth."
We could get into him and in behind him. We did a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
which that was sort of promising.
Yeah,
and to not sort of jump straight to halftime, but we got to halftime. And I'm thinking, only 1-0. We're still in this. If we can sort of come out and get a goal sort of early on, or even just hold it on and try and get another goal.
Yeah,
we could nick something.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
As
much as we'd been battered.
Well, we were kind of discussing this a bit off air, but I was kind of thinking about some of those games at Ellen Road last season, obviously, when we were watching it on telly. But I remember the Leicester game where we kind of, they hit us for a few of the first half, and an early goal from us in the second half kind of changed the momentum of the game. I know we never got back into those games, but I'm thinking about that one, the Everton game, and I think they did batter us first half, and it could have been 3 or 4. Obviously, there's the goal that they have disallowed. He is a mile offside. Mane, blazes one over from 6 yards. Empty goal. He put, that's a glorious opportunity.
They're the kind of things that you think there's a bit of luck going our way.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So to actually get in at only 1-0 down, and you think, you know what? If we nick something early on, this crowd, who knows? But it went the other way.
Yeah, well, 2 or 3 years ago, that's like their blueprint. Like they're 2 or 3 years ago, they're the goals you see on TV on Match of the Day. Like they're just their bread and butter, And to see them actually happening against you at Ellen Road, it's kind of it kind of dawns on you what you're dealing with. Like these guys are drilled. They're obviously they were champions of Europe and champions of the Premier League for a reason. But to see us letting that happen, it's like going for their first goal when Trent crosses it in low across the 6-yard box and Salah's there to tap it in. You think, well, yeah, you see that coming because you've seen that goal many, many times already.
To be fair, we'd seen that move down their right hand side several times already. It was coming, and it was only coming down that flank. Really, it just seemed to be. But from a Leeds perspective as well, especially first half, I thought we really struggled to get any momentum.
Yeah,
like, we turned over possession so much, and it did feel, especially first half, that we just didn't have a centre midfield.
Oh yeah, Calvin.
Calvin was our centre midfield.
Yeah,
and that was it.
And he was completely isolated. He had no time on the ball because obviously he's basically sandwiched in between Thiago, Fabinho, and Harvey Elliott, sort of running around doing whatever he wants. And their midfield just absolutely dominated the game. But saying that, Calvin did have a fantastic game. He was like our standout performer. He was the only one actually getting at them, pressing them, catching them off guard. Just to see the midfield, and you've got Harrison on the wing, raging, wanting the distribution, and he just couldn't get it because obviously we didn't have control of the midfield. So I think we felt that in the first half when you saw that frustration, that initial frustration of Harrison, Rafinha wanting it. We just couldn't get it out to him. And the few times we did hit on the break, I think the big chance was Rodrigo, which came from Harrison crossing it.
Early on.
Yeah.
And it kind of sums up how Rodrigo's playing right now as well, doesn't he?
He doesn't sort of know where he is.
Yeah, he seems to lack a lot of confidence.
Yeah. I mean, that shot was put, like, just hitting it straight at Alisson.
He literally put it anywhere else.
And that's
anywhere else, and it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's the chance for us to go 1-0 up, right? So, I mean, everyone's saying that changes the whole dynamic then. Because then Liverpool's line gets a little bit higher, you know. But it was good to see us exploiting that high line when we could get balls over the top for Bamford and that. But I think he had a narrow offside given early on in the first half. He was running off the back of off the shoulder of Van Dijk, I think. But yeah, other than that, we had nothing.
Did Rodrigo go kind of through? And he could maybe have had a shot, but he tried to play Bamford in.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it just didn't quite click. Or it didn't.
Yeah.
I suppose what I just said there, it didn't quite click.
Yeah,
we kind of just missed Mattia's click.
We said that during the game. Yeah, we said this is a game for click.
Well, at half time, if I was going to make a change, I think it would have been click to come on. I know he obviously took Rodrigo off and put Roberts on instead.
Yeah, because
I'd have done it. I'd have put click on, to be honest.
Yeah,
I suppose it's one of the things of being back in the ground. You see, like, because obviously Leeds players tend not to do any warming up at half time if the subs, someone's coming on when there is someone warming up. And there was James,
there was James,
Click, Roberts, I think.
Yeah.
Click.
There were definitely three of them.
Yeah, and
James
then one of the
definitely
coaches.
Yeah,
and you're thinking, is he doing like a 3 change here? And like, how do you change? I mean, because
he couldn't, because Llorente's already gone off at that stage.
Yeah,
because
2 change. Yeah, the 2 changes.
But I thought that as well.
It was the 2 out of the 3.
And I thought, no, he can't, because Llorente's already gone off. But I thought he might do something a bit maverick like that.
Yeah, and because I think, like, who could you take off? I mean, sort of not to hound out Luke Ayling, but he's not in the best of form. And we were discussing it with the lads around me, all my mates and what have you, and he's been through stages like this before, Luke Ayling, with form, but it's been in the Championship, and we've got away with him being able to be in this form.
Yeah,
and we've played through it, and he's got out of the form.
Yeah.
I just think right now, especially playing the last 3 games we've had with. Well, you got 3 of the top 4 at the moment in Everton, Liverpool, and Man United. 2 of what I think will be the top 4, and the top 4 will be way ahead of everyone else for me.
Yeah.
And as much as I'd like to think we should have beaten Burnley, it's a tough place to go with how they play.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all the talk were about them on Monday night when they were their game plan is to rough people up, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you're maybe like Luke Ayling, you've not had the best start to the season and stuff like that, because I didn't think he was brilliant in pre-season. There were a few things in pre-season, like there was the goal at the Ajax, and I think he was part with the Betis goal as well, the scored early on. He's not had the best of starts to sort of pre-season. Is that a game that you really want to be playing when you've got someone who's going to be in your face and kicking you about like 1-11? So I'm thinking, are they going to take Ayling off?
Yeah.
Maybe move Dallas right back and put Click on.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think all the permutations you could do, but then it brings Roberts on. I mean, which was probably the good move at the time, because I think we discussed it last week that Rodrigo tends to sort of move side to side on the pitch, where Roberts kind of goes front to back. Yeah. So, and that's what we needed, some more front to back in the middle rather than side to side, because I think Thiago and Fabinho were just sort of, we're all over Rodrigo, to be honest. He didn't have a minute to sort of.
He couldn't cut inside.
Yeah.
He could only really play it wide to Harrison or back to Firpo or Dallas. Like,
and it is a conundrum at the minute, and I mean it leads us on to quite well into obviously one of our sponsors for the episode, which is The Athletic, and I know Phil Hayes just wrote an article on Rodrigo and how he kind of fits in, but you're just on mic, mate. Yeah. Turn it to be closer. And you can take advantage of 50% off an annual subscription to The Athletic if you go on to athletic.com/Talkign Shutt, and you'll be able to read this for yourself. But Phil puts his details on there regarding this, as well as all the fallout from. I'm sure we'll be discussing the Stewart red card as well later on. But yeah, I mean, he has struggled in that position. I think personally for me this season, even more so than last season in that attacking midfield. Again, is it because we are playing these better midfields?
I think it is.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't suit how. Like for me, I'd be more. And I don't want to say defensive, but it is defensive in playing. I'd rather play Click as a 8-10 kind of thing, because he's going to be there more in the middle. Because what we've seen, especially against Man United and against Liverpool, we had nothing in the middle. It was literally Calvin doing everything. And if you're having Click there to come and move into the middle, and he can do that, he can get the ball and turn it and bring others into play. And then he brings a lot more of, he brings Rafinha into play a lot more and stuff like that. It's just a better option for me.
Yeah. Well, one of my favourite things about Click is how he creates space on the wings as well, because he'll pull players over, or he'll allow Harrison and Firpo to get access to the centre, because he'll pull a midfielder out wide. You know, he's intelligent and he's composed, and it's easy, you know, saying it in hindsight, like, oh, we could have done with X, Y, Z. But yeah,
we could have.
Yeah. I mean, I said to Gaz as well, we were at the game together, it was a game where we could have done with 3 Stuart Dallases as well. Because, like you're saying with Ayling, I'd have liked to see Dallas at left back and right back, to be honest, and where he was. It was tough because.
But the problem is, it all goes back to the summer for me, that we're too reliant on Stuart Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean this with all the greatest respect, he's not a Premier League centre midfielder, and that's why we needed to buy a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
And a game where, I mean, he's probably not ready yet anyway, but a game where we needed a centre midfielder that can put the foot on the ball, and Adam Forshaw is that type of player. Whether he's good enough after his injuries to do that, I don't know. We've not seen him, have we? So what? Like we just don't have that, and they're the games that you need to have that, because there were times we played some really good stuff, and if it had come off, it'd have been really good, and people had been saying that's some really good football. But we tried to do that every time. We never put his foot on the ball and thought, all right, let's just.
There was a few really, really like kind of clever through balls that they just read and accepted, and it was Van Dijk.
In a way, it was kind of obvious that we were going to go for that sort of harder ball, whereas we needed to just relax and spend more time on the game and more time on the ball.
Yeah. And look, fair play to Liverpool, because they didn't give us any time on that.
Yeah, true.
And it's, you know, it's not sour grapes. They were definitely the better side.
Oh yeah. No Leeds fan would argue with that.
No,
like, surely not.
100% not.
Anyway, as well, it was kind of good as a football fan that's not really been to any Premier League games in
a long time.
20 years.
Yeah, it was good to hear some away support. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was going to say it's good to see the standard of them players live.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we played Chelsea, we played Liverpool when we were at sort of Championship and League One and stuff like that. Played Man United and what have you.
Yeah,
but you don't realise until you're playing Premier League that
when they're playing their A team.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, I saw Eden Hazard when we played Chelsea, and I thought he was just unreal. Like, he didn't touch the floor when he was running. He's like he just floated.
Yeah.
He was that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing Salah, and I thought Mane were pretty poor, to be fair, with his finishing and stuff like that. But and Thiago was just unreal. It was like Barcelona, Thiago.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple of times now, which is a bit worrying. Where,
sorry about that. Someone's just decided to smash into my ice.
There's been a couple of times now where we've had it happened with Pogba as well, and you think you don't play like that every week. And it's same with Thiago. He's had his, sort of poor spells where Liverpool fans have been like, oh, what the hell have we bought here? And then they turn up to Ellen Road and do that, or do us over. You think, oh, is it on us, or is it on them being up for the game, or But yeah,
it's a good talking point though, about being up for the game though.
Yeah,
because we've seen Scum, well up for it on the and I know it's very easy on the opening game of the season, but we've also seen another team come to Ellen Road who I'm trying to think, what was it we drew again? Was it
we drew against Everton?
No, I mean Liverpool last season at Ellen Road. Obviously,
we drew. Yeah, was it 1-1? Lorenzo scored.
Yes. So, but that's a different Liverpool performance from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I
is
think
that something? Is that
probably
something we're going to see?
A different Liverpool team as well from last year. I mean, they were very lethargic last year, I think, and stuff like that. They'd gone through the year before. They'd won the league. They'd won the Champions League year before. I think they just.
Harvey Elliott has given him a bit of a spark, hasn't he, in that midfield? Yeah. Just letting him run around and do what he wants, I think, has helped.
Yeah, probably. And any sort of young influence is going to do that. I just think, and they're properly back on it now, I think, from what I've seen of them in the last
we think that
a few weeks?
Do we think that crowds returning and certainly the atmosphere that we saw at Ellen Road helps them because they are those experienced players who are used to playing in front of their. Does it give them an extra dimension? I'm not saying that we can't play like that, by the way. That's not. But will it kind of play into their hands a little bit more than if they'd have come to Ellen Road like they did last season and it was empty?
I've experienced a lot of atmospheres at Ellen Road, and I can't think why, as a Leeds player, you wouldn't enjoy the atmosphere, especially at Everton and probably on Sunday as well. Because every time we were going forward, there was noise. And at 2-0 and 3-0, I suppose they went a lot of time after 3-0, were they? But there was a lot of encouragement. It was maybe a few. I guess any ground's going to have a bit of a groan when a pass goes astray and stuff like that. But I don't think there was ever any discontent or all that.
I'm talking more about the impact it has on the bigger team, the performances of the bigger teams.
No, I don't think that the crowds away, especially an away crowd for Liverpool, I think they were just.
No, but I'm talking about atmosphere in general.
Oh yeah, maybe at home grounds and.
Well, I saw Liverpool.
I guess you can take the example of Saturday when Ronaldo were back at Man United.
Yeah,
but were they always going to win that game anyway?
I think so. I mean, I remember you can watch it on YouTube, the highlights of Liverpool v Burnley, I think the second game of the season.
Yeah.
And it was deathly quiet. I think Liverpool won 2-0. And I was looking at, we were watching that game because it was on TV at Ellen Road at the time before we played. And I just didn't really rate Liverpool. They were a bit sluggish and.
That's what I'm talking about. Will a team like Liverpool come in, and even though it's obviously a vociferous Leeds-based crowd, will the fact that there is atmosphere in the ground, will that actually kind of
I think
help them? And is that why we're seeing the likes of Scum, the likes of Liverpool, actually probably up in their game? It's not the fact that they're playing against these; it's probably the fact of the kind of the atmosphere that's been created around it. Is that having an impact on it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, sort of early on, we were giving Trent Alexander some stick, saying he was shit Kyle Walker. And it was good to see that banter. He sort of took it. You could see him taking it on, and then he obviously set up the first goal, and he was giving it the years and everything. What you're saying now,
but I think that worked. I think that worked up until obviously the goal, because his set piece delivery, before that was utterly dire. Now, whether that's just because he is a shit Kyle Walker. or did it get in his head? You know what I mean? And that's what it's like, and that's what.
And you can maybe did it get in Mane's head? I mean, there's sort of some of the chances he had. Whereas some chances that the players of his stature. I mean, some people say he's one of the best in the world. A few Liverpool fans and what have you. But that guy that were on the clips that keep going around.
I don't do ifs, buts, or maybes. I do absolutes.
He said. Man is the best player in the world, and maybe you are at that point or whatever. He thought that, but a player of that sort of stature should be scoring from 2 yards.
I think a player like that, they either, I think 9 times out of 10 they rise above it and they go. I think all players understand the best way to shut up a home, your opposition fans, is to get an assist, get a goal. And it's 50-50 whether they actually achieve that, but. I think, 9 out of 10 Premier League players will rise to it.
So I think we can all agree. Soundly kind of outclassed first half. We were still in it up until that point. Obviously, 1-0 down at half time is not a disgrace.
No.
poor start to the first half, second half, should I say? And I'm not happy with the manner of the second goal. Set piece.
Yeah,
it's bouncing around. We're letting that. It's poor that.
Yep.
I mean, not to dig out Cooper, but pretty much every corner. And there were sort of a few things around me. Oh, Cooper's left him again. And I guess it can't be easy to defend against Virgil van Dijk. I mean, when you're at the ground, you see the difference in players. Like he's a big lad.
He's massive.
Oh yeah, he's a
that
unit,
first half, that free header. I know he fucked up. He put it high and wide, but I mean, you cannot give Virgil van Dijk a free header from a corner.
But how do you stop him?
Exactly. Yeah,
because he's
even our new centre backs. They're tall, but strength wise,
he's a colossus, isn't he?
He's pretty. I bet
if he runs at you, you can't stop him without fouling him.
Yeah, and I guess you could put him in like 3 or 4 that are physically as powerful as him.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably got Lukaku now.
You really just have to stop him jumping. You have to just you just have to man mark him and just stop him somehow getting any momentum. Like if he's running in, you just have to block him.
Yeah,
really, that's all you can do. Because if he gets in the air with off the back of a sprint for the ball, and you're not stopping that.
Because he wins the header, doesn't he? And then it kind of bobbles around. And Fabinho sort of just pops it in.
Yeah.
But doesn't he take a touch for it? I mean, it just seems to be.
He was very all over the place, wasn't he?
We're in the north, aren't we, Ben? So it's a long way away. But I mean, from the highlights I've seen,
bundled about.
Yeah,
it's a poor goal. You look at the first goal, and they at that point they were terrorizing us down our left, there, right. And you could see that a goal like that and us being carved open happening.
Yeah,
a bundled in goal from a corner. Should be avoidable.
It's far too complacent.
Then it's a massive, massive mountain to climb at that point, 2-0 down.
I think all around us, that's pretty much game over, because the chances we'd not taken, you're thinking, well, we're not really going to score now.
No.
Well, you look at the first goal as well, like you can tell the complacency in defending, the way that when the ball's coming in and Salah just runs through, I think 3 or 4 of our, all our defenders are just in a line and he's just running through, and it's like, it's just complacent, just really, really unprofessional.
So a mountain to climb at 2-0, an absolute Everest to climb with 10 men to do 2-0. So let's get to the elephant in the room, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of talking points on this. So here's my take on it on Sunday at the game, because I was incredibly confused about the whole thing, to be honest. Just a word on Pascal Struijk. I thought he was our best defender when he came on.
Yep.
I thought he was absolutely superb. Not easy conditions to come in.
No.
We were under the cosh. Llorente, who I really, really rate, and I really hope he isn't injured for long.
Yeah.
Obviously gets another knock. He comes on, and I thought, best of luck for you, because this isn't going to be. And I thought he shouldered that absolutely brilliant.
But it's not his first rodeo with old Liverpool, is it? So.
No. And the challenge in the that goal venting challenge before he
with Salah
gets off that. I mean, that was superb.
Well, we were in the East Stand upper and we thought that's a goal.
Yeah.
And then you just see it go wide. Yeah. And we're like, how the hell? That's miraculous. And then obviously,
but with the ball as well, I thought he progressed it well. He was at least finding his passes. I think we were quite sloppy with the ball other than that. But I thought he genuinely was great.
Yeah.
Now, for that, they break on us. He wins for me at the time from the cop perfectly.
From the East Stand upper as well. Perfect. We're applauding it.
Well won ball. And at that point, obviously, you think it's the Premier League. What's he going to give?
Yeah.
You see the referee.
But even then, like
waving play, not waving play on, but waving Harvey Elliott to get up.
Yeah.
And at that
we
point,
saw that,
the crowd, obviously, Ellen Road crowd goes absolutely
so good to see a proper tackle. Yeah.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
But like people have been going on about the tackle and he's off his feet and all this, but he wasn't.
Described it as a lunge. It wasn't a lunge.
No, he got in between. I guess there was kind of a lunge. He was in between the man and the ball.
He's lunging for the ball and he's on the side of Elliott.
He puts his foot in between the ball and stopping the ball. And yeah, the momentum sort of takes him on a bit of a stumble, but he gets back up, protects the ball with him, and passes it on.
Yeah. And at
the
that
only
point,
the unlucky thing was that Elliott's foot was under his right leg that was sort of helping him stay stable.
Yeah. And obviously that training leg, they've got tangled up.
Yeah.
And it's not part of the lunge. It's part of momentum after the lunge or whatever you want to call that. But that is, and for me, that's an accidental tangle.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone, I guess, around me as well thought, all right, it's a foul. And when it sort of play carried on, and you kind of had a bit of a scream from Elliott as well. I think you could see he was in a lot of pain. There was something not right.
Yeah, straight away, seeing the reaction of the benches, seeing the reaction of
it's
Salah.
when he's on his back and he lifts his leg up, and it's just dislocated.
And at that point, that's a bad injury.
Well, from I guess Raggy's near me anyway in the cop, but from where we are, you can't really tell that his ankle were like spinning around.
Oh no, I'm on the replays on Match of the Day and that or whatever. We couldn't tell up where we were. No way.
So you knew it was something bad.
Yeah, you knew it was something bad. You obviously the speed of the medical staff on the pitch, you could see the stretcher getting ready and everything like that. So it's a bad.
Which is fair enough to then stop the game.
I'm all for that. I'm all for the protection of those players at that stage. It was
at that point
a lengthy stoppage.
We thought we were getting a drop ball at that point.
I didn't even think about how we were restarting it from then.
Yeah,
that wasn't even my concept. I thought, all right, there's something clearly not wrong with him, or not right with him. He's gonna have to get taken off the pitch. There's stretchers coming on and everything.
Oh yeah, it was serious. Yeah. But we're saying we'll
see what happens there.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you just sort of end up chatting with people around you. And then like he's been sent off.
Well,
we're all like, what?
That's exactly what happened to me. Neil went, he sent him off. I didn't see the red card. I didn't see it actually being brandished. And I just look up and Stuart's almost at the tunnel.
Yeah, same here.
So at that stage, I've gone, oh well, VAR.
Yeah.
VAR must have got involved. And I thought, well, that's one, it's incredibly quick for it. And two, it didn't come up on the screen to say that there was a VAR challenge. It's only when I get home that I realise that didn't happen at all. There was no VAR.
There was the VAR for the goal. Is that the first VAR we've had at Ellen Road?
No, there was the VAR for the offside. I think. Was it offside? No.
No. The first VAR at Ellen Road was Dominic Calvert-Lewin's penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was sort of one that carried on. Yeah.
No, there was no VAR. There was not during the game.
Yeah.
No.
And this is the thing that astonished me most. And you know what? I was confused at the game, but since that and since reviewing the footage after the game and that, now I'm angry.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really, really angry because when you actually see what's gone on with the referee, it's unacceptable. Mm-hmm. It's unacceptable that a tackle that he has deemed not even a foul.
Yeah. And for it has to have been a good minute or so.
Yeah.
That nothing was done. And then you see the clips and Klopp's walked over to him.
Yep.
And there's been no conversation. I guess players went over and said, have you seen Davis? I guess, okay, and players are going to do that. If someone's badly injured on your team, you're going to think...
If you take the chance of injury out of football, it's no longer football.
Well, yeah, that's a fair
you know
point.
What I mean? Like,
but players are going to, if the teammates, like if you're seeing someone's ankle literally hanging off.
Oh, yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah. It's horrific.
Players are going to be like, are you going to do something about that ref?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But players go out onto the field every game understanding that's there's potential for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you see Klopp come onto the pitch, which I guess, okay, you could...
I thought if you think he's doing it out of the welfare for his player...
Well, yeah, he's not. Like,
he's not.
If you're doing that, and this is where, in situations like this...
He's not a paramedic.
I think someone tweeted that the referee should be mic'd up because they need to know what's been said there. But also, if a manager is walking onto a pitch, then the referee needs to say, no, stop.
Get off, yeah.
We'll talk about it with both managers.
Yeah.
Because that's the only fair way to do this, because you're only getting one sort of side. And Bielsa would have probably said, if Klopp had convinced the referee to send him off, Bielsa would have probably said, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of guy it is.
Yeah. I respect,
Yeah.
But I mean,
he's not going to argue that, because after the match, he said I guess in the press conference I read or heard that he said he wasn't going to appeal it.
Yeah. But that's out of respect for the process, a respect that Klopp clearly doesn't have. Otherwise, he wouldn't feel the need to intervene. You flip it and say Van Dijk does that to Rafinha.
Yeah.
Is Bielsa getting on the pitch?
No.
There you go.
Well, and that's what your technical areas are supposed to be for. That
they
don't leave that, and it's very much the same as players getting around a ref. If a manager is then going on the pitch to do that, then what's the rules there? Because you're just going to see it more often now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Any sort
do
of
it for every foul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
And it's.
I mean, we've seen in the last few years, we've seen the introduction of obviously yellow and red cards for encroachment from technical areas.
Yeah.
Of coaching staff, managers, and everything like that. He's on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he's influencing the referee because I don't care what Craig Pawson's come out and said since then.
Yeah. Which is a lie.
Well, it must be a lie.
He wasn't giving
because he wasn't even giving a free kick, never mind a red card.
Because if Harvey Elliott doesn't get injured in that, he's playing play on.
He's waiting to play on. We're attacking.
Yeah.
So how can he say that that's a red card offence?
He's covering his own backside.
Obviously, he's reacting on the injury that's been sustained, and through the influence of those people around him. Yeah. And that, in my opinion, is a bigger disgrace.
I even saw
and what should be investigated.
There was a clip of one of the Liverpool players on the bench. I can't remember who it was. But as the referee goes for his card, the Liverpool player goes, "Oh, no way!" It's clear as day.
Was it Origi?
I think it might have been Origi. Yeah, he kind of raises his hands up and goes, "Oh, no way!" And he's kind of like gesticulating, going, "Come on, that's harsh." And a straight red as well, like not even going to VAR or anything is even worse because as a ref, you've been given the tools to do your job accurately. Well, why would you not?
Well, that's the other thing because he's obviously he's not deemed it a foul, so therefore it can't be a red card as he's seen it.
Because he hasn't seen it.
Now, well, exactly. So then, if he's then looking at and going, well, actually, the evidence might suggest that this is more than I've thought of it because this guy's got a dislocated ankle now.
Yeah.
Where's the process to then go? Can we have a look at that?
Yeah.
Because surely that should be how it works.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it?
If he's obviously he's not seen it on the pitch because he's not blown for it or given it or whatever.
Yeah.
So he needs to then and VAR can't say to him that's a red because you should be saying you need to look at that because I think it might be a red.
And he's got time to look at it. He's got time.
Like what happened with Liam Cooper at the Etihad.
Yeah.
I know he gave that as a foul with a yellow, but VAR went, no, go have a look at that again.
Yeah.
But
that didn't happen.
Exactly. There's a break in the play.
It's a consultant.
There's a break in the play because there's a stretcher involved and everything like that. He's got the time to do that.
Yeah, he's got the time.
I saw a tweet by Adam Pope of BBC Leeds today that VAR said that was it.
It wasn't a clear and obvious
so,
error of sending off.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with that completely.
No, he was fine. There was no issue with the foul, is what VAR said.
It's the fact that he was injured.
Well, I thought that tweet had basically said that it sent him and VAR deemed it that it was not a clear and obvious error by the official.
Oh, maybe I read it wrong then.
I don't know. I mean, that's ultimately what VAR are on that. If it's a red card, they go. They have the jurisdiction to say, "Are you sure that's a red card?" We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Why? Obviously, they must have either ignored their process and not looked at it, or they deemed that is a red card, which kind of lends into the fact that we've now lost the appeal because everyone's just closed ranks and said, yeah, the referee's fine to do it in that manner. VAR were fine to not step in, and we're going to uphold it, which is ridiculous.
You bang on.
Look at it.
You bang on with the fact that the process is broken because that's evidenced in the Pawson quote about how he said he was always going to get in the appeal process. He said he was always going to give the red card. It's like if that doesn't tell you the process is bent, because he clearly wasn't. That's a lie.
So what was he going to? He was going to wave play on. If we had scored, he would have still gone and sent him off, would he?
No.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. He's covering. I mean, for me, Pawson has two choices in the appeal process. Either makes that statement to cover his own back and screw over Pascal. You know what I mean? Or he admits he's wrong. Pascal gets to play in the next game, move on, get on with it, and continue being a fantastic talent, a young player. But instead, Parsons decided, screw this young lad off.
Well, the Premier League, I mean,
cover me. So
the Premier League last year, there were precedents set where even because VAR didn't, there were red cards overturned.
Yeah.
Even though VAR hadn't overturned it on the day.
Yeah.
I think there were 2.
Well, the best example it's going around is Heung-min Son's foul on Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He broke his leg, didn't even get the ball. That red card got overturned.
Yeah.
Where's the precedent?
Yeah.
And there are calls like there's evidence for it as well. It's not crying, it's not being salty. There's evidence to suggest that there is a bias in the game. You've got like Fernandinho on
confidence
Rafinha.
that it would get overturned.
No, I didn't.
We were all like pessimistic because we've seen it before, and again, like the faith we have to have in referees when we've seen like the Baldock foul on Roberts and
I mean, that was
Fernandinho on Rafinha and Raheem Sterling stamping on Meslier, and even before that, in the FA Cup we played Arsenal. You remember VAR looked at Lacazette kicking out at Berardi.
Yeah,
didn't give it. It's just like, come on, are you even trying?
But I even saw the types of the fouls and stuff. I just thought they have too much to lose to overturn that.
They'll never go because it drops Pawson right in it.
Yeah, and which goes with,
and there's a knock-on effect of if one referee is having a bad one, then it opens the floodgates to criticising so many others.
But they could make it a lot easier for themselves, and like so especially in the stadium as well. So I guess more on VAR, we've said have it so you can hear what the referees are saying to the VAR thing. But so and the referees still have mics, so they must be on all the time. And someone must be like, so why can't they put? I guess they wouldn't because we're going to properly dob them in. But it should be available that and what conversations are had with managers and refs.
A transcript after the game, I think, would be. The most accessible thing would be a transcript, I think, after or a recording or something.
Certainly would give a level of transparency which we just don't have. And
every club, I guarantee you, every Premier League club has a referee that they go, oh, for fuck's sake, like Chelsea have that Anthony Taylor. They don't like him. There's no smoke without fire. Surely,
I'm sure Pawson was. Our ref against Scum at Ellen Road last year, the 0-0.
And he was Luke Shaw refereed that game.
Exactly. I thought he was terrible. He was terrible in that game as well. And being influenced in that game as well.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, some people, I've seen that somewhere he's like a Sheffield United fan. And there is a thing with referees like that. If you're a referee, you obviously love the game and you obviously grew up supporting a certain team, and that'll come with its own thing. I mean, whether there is such thing as a truly neutral referee, when you're talking about a domestic league, can you actually have a truly neutral referee? And this has just thrown it all up in the air again, And referees started this season fantastically. Can I just say as well, like the refereeing decisions were fantastic, the games were flowing, but there's always that part in your mind as a football fan where you go, "This will last. This is too good to be true." Like. Games are actually flowing, getting some good tackles in. They're not blowing for all the diving. And then as soon as
in a way,
a team like Liverpool go,
Klopp
made the toys out the pram.
Made a thing about it a couple of weeks ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
First or second game, and it's sort of giving him even more of a dog with a bone kind of thing. Now, and he's one of his players has been injured on a challenge that wasn't even aggressive.
Not even a dirty challenge. Yeah.
But then that same day, you've got Tarkowski at Burnley trying to kill Richarlison.
Yeah.
And you just think,
to be fair,
where is this?
Richarlison deserves it.
He does, yeah.
But you look at our game against Burnley. There were two shocking tackles in that game. And neither were even
and they were, as we've said earlier, I said earlier, that Burnley go out to do that.
We just want the same standard of refereeing that we would get if we were Man City. We just want to be treated the same.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing to ask when we're a massive asset to the Premier League. But that's a story for another time,
But that's the only kind of thing that you would expect from officiating
Yeah.
is fairness. That's the whole idea. You know, there's a reason that there's a referee to make you play by the rules and to invoke fairness for both sides. And right now, it does seem that there is evidence to suggest that that's not happening.
Yeah.
And
certainly on Sunday.
Yeah. And on Sunday we didn't have that. And it's not just Sunday. It's not just Sunday, was it? It was that, and now we've had the appeal rejected.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the governing bodies now as well who are closing ranks behind those decisions.
And the
you know
appeal
what?
rejected after a lot of people have come out and
I'd have said it should have taken longer.
Have come out and said, look, this was an accident. Harvey Elliott said it was an accident, and so many people around football, ex-footballers.
Yep.
And the only people that seemed to think it were a foul were Liverpool fans. So yeah.
So we move on.
Maybe their voice is way more than ours. Who knows?
Maybe so.
We do. We move on.
Yes.
Okay, just before we move on from, I guess we're moving off the Liverpool game now, but just a bit of a chat about Junior Firpo, who's I feel getting a bit of stick that I don't think is quite warranted yet.
No,
he had a tough game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're coming against Mo Salah, who's scoring 30 goals a season.
Yeah.
Been one of the best players in the Premier League for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I thought he grew into the game quite well.
Yeah.
And I guess he's come in, then we're off with COVID, and he's not. He just needs a run of games.
Yeah, a run of games against mid-table opposition would do our entire team the world of good.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I bet the imposter syndrome is sitting in, and all the talk of like second season syndrome and all that stuff. Just need some benchmarkers just to remind us that we belong in this league, I think.
Yeah, and I guess I've written down here, there's next sort of lot of games before the end of October. We've got Newcastle, West Ham, Watford, Southampton, Wolves and Norwich.
Yeah, that's where we...
And the only one that really worries me there is West Ham, because they've been good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's
and
fine.
you look at who we have played, like I said earlier, we've played Liverpool, who will be in the top 4.
Yep.
Manchester United, now they've got Ronaldo, will be in the top 4 and could challenge Chelsea and Man City for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But they need... Well, the problem with them is like last night when they played young boys, that they can't get up for the littler sides. So that's the problem, and always will be. And we've played Everton, who are in the top 4 at the moment, and obviously, like I said, Burnley away, who are a side that are going to kick you about. And when we're not quite flowing, like we were last time, the time before when we went there, when we just played round them for fun.
Yeah.
It was a hard game.
I would say out of the 4 games so far, the performance I was most concerned with was the Burnley game.
Yeah.
Because that should be a game we're winning, and I don't think our performance was very good at all.
No,
from front to back, and but we've seen a reaction, and I know we've been beaten 3-0 at home. But I think actually, we were beaten by a very good side.
Yeah, I watched. So Monday night, I came home from work, I put the TV on, and it was the sort of replay of the game on Sky Sports. And my first sort of reaction was, after watching it for a bit, I said, I don't think we were as bad as I thought we were in the stand. Maybe it's a bit different there and in the stands, and it's a bit more tense. And I'm not saying Liverpool weren't very good, because they were. But I thought we were probably maybe a bit better than what it felt like at the time.
Yeah.
I think if we play...
But we still want the Leeds United that we have been.
No. It's again, it's about bringing that kind of performance to a team that's not going to dominate the midfield.
Yeah.
But it'll come.
But as I said, the next 6 games are games against teams that we should be taking points.
We need to be taking points. But going back to how we started this segment, which is Firpo, I think you're right. I think I'm certainly not going to write him off yet.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's incredibly difficult to handle. There's world-class players who struggle to handle Mo Salah. So let's just see. And at the end of the day, he's had to, and obviously he's missed time with missed games with COVID, but he's had to come straight into it. And he also doesn't usually like those to do that with brand new players to the way that we play. So he's having to learn on the job. He's also not had a huge amount of football.
Yeah,
in the last
2 years.
In the last 2 years, so he's going to have to, I saw that in the Everton game. Harrison did a lot of his running that game. For him, especially kind of defensively.
Dallas as well.
Yeah.
But he'll only get fitter.
But he'll get fitter, and he will grow into that. And he just needs a good group of games, and hopefully these are the ones that do that and cement that position, and we move forward.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll shoot up the table.
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. Moving on. Let's talk about our second sponsor of the night. I'll cast over to somebody who knows a little bit more about them.
Yeah, the Terrace. This is my read as given by Gaz. If you haven't been, if you have been living under a rock, you won't know who they are. So I'll just give you a little read. But the Terrace are your one-stop for retro football merchandise and fan-made designs. Fans that will interest Leeds fans. Burley Banksy, Gabby Wood, Tom Spack, all fantastic grassroots artists that the Terrace love to support. If you want a specific kit design, you can request one now. You can now request a kit through the website, and the fantastic Terrace designers will draft it up for you.
Is that including yourself?
I don't do the products. I just do the graphics and the socials, but I could do it. Of
course you can. Return of graphics, Mike.
Yeah. But yeah, Leeds United kit mugs. Recently, the Strongbow range came out, I think a month ago. So the turn of the millennium, the yellow and blue, and the home strips, all in your kit mugs. Always make me think of Radaby. I have to pick one up myself. This season's home kits and away shirts as well. They're on the kit mugs. There's plenty of stuff: beach towels, golf towels,
Raggy's Fingers.
On Grady Draws, another one of our grassroots artists that we work with.
Just on that, I put Raggy mugs. I'm selling my house,
of which you have 20.
Well, I'm selling my house in a minute, and doing a lot of decluttering, and the understairs cupboard was my Saturday morning project, and I found 2 boxed Raggy mugs in there. I thought I'd give them all out by now, and there's another 2 in the cupboards.
Get them on here, we'll have them on.
Absolutely.
Just giving them to people that come and look at your house now.
Yeah. I should do. Time wasters.
Brilliant. It is a class mug, to be fair. I mean, buy one if you want.
Get it on.
I like the look of the new latte ones. I don't drink lattes, but I just like a really big coffee.
The tall mugs. I mean, to be fair, obviously, dare I even say it, but a certain Christmas day is around the corner.
Christmas Day?
Maybe
On the
Christmas
tall
Day.
Mugs. Are you only allowed tall players on there?
No, it's
Who's the tallest player who ever played for Leeds?
Janssen.
Do we know?
Would Janssen be up there?
Matt Smith, maybe.
He was pretty tall.
He was a unit.
Shagger.
Matt Heath, he was quite
Rocket. Was Rocket Jr. quite lanky?
I don't think he. A bit lanky, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There were. Didn't we have a really lanky centre half?
Torrey Andre Flo.
He was
tall.
He was tall. Hayden Fox, he was tall.
Yeah, big Aussie, big ginger Aussie.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else. I suppose Rob Allen out quite tall.
Who was a tall? Right, yeah. Put it in the comments if you know the tallest ever.
Give us your tallest Leeds players.
Enoch Shawunmi, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Tall in many ways.
So
anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Well, Christmas is fully round the corner. So the Terrace, the website is a great place for you. One stop. You want to get everything in one order for that special football fan in your life. You can get homeware, office wear, mouse mats, things for your, bar mats, door mats, chopping boards, cushions, throws, anything you can think of. The Terrace will more than likely have. And the Terrace are just a great little company with fans at the heart of what we do. So, yeah, check us out. The terracestore.com.
Yes, get in there and get all your Leeds United
goodies.
Yeah, not just Leeds United.
Yeah, you can't even narrow it down now. You go on products, and it's just a huge list of everything.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, moving on. We've got a game on Friday night. Friday night.
I like a Friday night game.
I love a Friday night game. I'm quite glad. I'm quite glad that not glad that I don't have tickets, but I'm glad I don't have to, be booking time off work to go to it because it's away.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And what an away day Newcastle is.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah.
So
I tried getting tickets, but I was nowhere near.
No.
Yeah. Good luck to all those who are going and having to tackle all them steps to get up to the away. So,
I hope they've sorted that bar out since we were last there. Gotham bar.
Yeah.
Because there were not left in it after we'd all left.
Was that the late equaliser?
Yeah, the Chris Wood one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The 1-1.
Yeah. Was that the last time we played Newcastle with fans?
Yeah.
Away from home?
Yeah.
Mad that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mad that.
Really good day out.
Yeah. So we have got coming up Friday Night Lights. So I think it's a good time as ever to maybe do our prediction.
Let's do it.
Segment.
Raggy's Predictor.
Not only have I not done very well with Raggy's Predictor, but I also, because I've had so much time off, have failed to submit my predictions as well. So I'm really far behind.
I don't think you'll be lagging that far behind.
I haven't lost as much ground as I thought I was going to do.
We need to stop back in Leeds.
I have tallied it up. I can't believe you went for all the England games, but that's absolutely fine. I don't know whether you've discussed those, but Mike did pick up a 3-pointer with the 1-1 Poland.
Yeah. Please don't take that off
England result. Nobody got any points against Liverpool because everyone was very optimistic about a Leeds United victory. So the scores on the doors are: I am currently only got 1 point. Then it's Gary and Ben on 3, and Mike out in the lead on 6. So I haven't lost as much ground as I could have, but still quite a bit to make up. So it is a double week this week because we've got Newcastle on Friday and then Fulham in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday before we record next. So we're going to do both games. So let's discuss maybe the Newcastle game first and give us our predictions. We've got to be targeting 3 points, surely, Mike?
Yep. 100% bread and butter. Yeah. I rate it like the same as Burnley, like those kind of teams.
Yeah.
You want your 6 points. How you get to 40 points, that's the easiest way to do it.
And that's why I was thinking at like beginning of this week that 40 points, that's all I'm interested in right now, to be fair.
Yeah.
As
Where'd
long
you
as we
get
get
them
to
from?
40 points and we stay up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good season.
Yeah.
After
the window we've had and the players we've let go and
Yeah.
I think
do we see obviously there's going to be changes. I doubt Levante will be back having limped out on Sunday.
He did say it wasn't as bad as like everyone thinking that it's not too bad an injury. Whether it's too quick to play on Friday, I guess we don't know.
Obviously Strike's missing. I think Cocker will also be missing.
Have they said how long Cox can make? I probably said it wasn't going to be too long, but yeah,
no idea if it's a fracture, which I assume it is, because it's a pubis
pubis
bone. Yeah, the pubis is a bone. You can't stretch it or you can't tear it. It's a fracture. So, that's just the time that you can't speed it up. Your bones heal. As quick as they heal.
Well, probably if it's like a bone thing, probably not 6 weeks.
He's not got him doing some pubis exercises to speed it up.
Rubbing his pubis.
Yeah.
So who do we think we'll see there then? Does Charlie Cresswell get a call up? Do we move Phillips into there? Is Ayling going to be moving?
I can see it being Ayling.
Yeah,
I would like to see Charlie Cresswell play, but I don't think it's right with the team as it is needing a win and stuff like that. I just think it's a bit of a...
It is, yeah.
Do Newcastle usually play with 2 up top? Because that usually means a 3 at the back for us. With one fit centre.
Wilson and Joe Linton.
Wilson's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Joe Linton.
So, whoscored.com, I've got a 5-4-1 with St. Maximin up front on his own.
Oh, bugger.
You know what? I'd prefer him up front than tearing him
wide.
From the wing.
Yeah, you don't want him in the middle, I suppose, as well. In that sort of 10.
Yeah.
That's where
we look susceptible when people do run at us,
well, I remember
through our middle. So
to be honest, looking at this, it's going to be like a 6-4 because you've got Joe well, look, you've got like
Bruce Ball.
So their midfield on this is Joe Linton, Hayden, Willock, Almiron, and then you've got St. Maximin up front. You'd think that Joe Linton, Willock, Almiron, and St. Maximin would be up there, but I think Willock might be injured.
I think I saw a joke about one of their goals that they just got said, like, who needs strikers when you've got a million midfielders? It's just them putting the ball over the top and all the midfielders just run forward, basically. Yeah.
Dubravka and Shelby are out. Manquillo, Willock, Fraser, Wilson, Dummett, and Clark are all doubtful.
Well, I think Almiron and Sam Maximin are they're kind of danger men, aren't they?
And you'd think Phillips is picking one of them two up, and then the other one will be to defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave Joe Linton because he's just shit.
Yeah.
He'll score against us now, won't he?
Yeah, probably.
Nailed on. But nailed on. So what do we say prediction wise then? You're out in the lead, Mike.
Oh,
so we'll go with you first.
Give me a 3-1 Leeds.
3-1 Leeds.
Yeah, we need to bounce back.
Gary has put his prediction in. I'll just bring it up here. Ben?
I'll go 2-0 Leeds.
2-0. 2. I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds. A bit tighter than we maybe think. And Gary's gone 3-1 as well. Then on Tuesday, we got...
Just before on Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
So if Ailing moves into the middle, who are you playing at right back?
Who
Shackleton.
I think he'll play will be Shackleton in that scenario.
Yeah, I think I'd go with that.
I'd like to see Shackleton.
I think it's the kind of game
he's earned it. I think he's earned a start. I think,
and I think he might do well at that.
Confident.
We can get round and
he passes backwards quite a lot because that's his job as a wing back is to sort of help recycle possession.
I think we should,
But I think he's earned it. I think it'd be refreshing as well. It might give the team a little boost, something different. And it means Ailing doesn't have to run as much because he'll have more space because Shackleton will.
Unless they go with 2, are you expecting? It's not going to be Phillips, is it? Phillips will play midfield. I don't see him.
I really hope it's not Phillips.
Yeah.
I really do. I think I know he's filled in ably in the past.
Yeah,
but we lose so much by moving him back there.
Would you, if you're playing a 3 at the back, would you play Dallas as the right hand side of the 3?
Yeah, probably.
And play Shaq as the sort of right wing back-ish, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
we're adding another string to Stuart Dallas's bow as a centre half now.
Yeah.
Well, it's always about how do you move the fewest players, isn't it? So it might be an inconvenience to Dallas, but if it means more players get to play the natural positions, then
I just thought they might play 2 up top, but obviously from the sounds of it, they're not gonna.
I don't think they've got enough strikers to do it, unless they play.
It sounds that way.
But I don't know a lot about Joe Linton, but if you're playing St. Maximin up front, you'd probably want someone big who's gonna.
I think it's going to be Hoofball. I think he's going to be Hoofball because he's fast. I think it's just going to be him off the shoulder. So we have to dominate midfield because if they get a foothold in midfield, they start hoofing balls over the top.
So considering if Dallas is going to be either right back or even centre back, Phillips obviously in his role, who plays in midfield? For me, Klitsch comes in.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I do think he'll stick with Rodrigo.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably a good game for Rodrigo.
Yep.
He's a lot better than...
He's had a couple of good games against Newcastle.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think.
Well, Gaz was saying to me, like, it's clear as day. Rodrigo needs a game where we can dominate the midfield and that he can actually get some attacking momentum. Because at the moment, I just don't... Yeah, he picked the ball up in the box against Liverpool, but I just don't think his heart was in it. He needs a good run where we're actually controlling basically all thirds of the pitch, really. He just needs it on a plate.
Yeah.
He really does. But yeah, it's a perfect game for him.
And then obviously Rafinha right.
Yeah.
Harrison left. There was a thing going around Twitter today that maybe Bamford has an injury. I don't know how true it is or anything like that, but I'd guess if he does have an injury, that means Rodrigo will be up front.
Yeah, which again is even better for me.
So does that then put?
No, it's not better though.
No, for me personally, for
Rodrigo,
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Not for the structure of the team, no.
And then I'd guess if that's the case, then Roberts would probably play, unless he plays Shaq at right back and Dallas in the middle.
Yeah,
we're going with 4.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's a lot of options.
It'd just be refreshing, and it's a chance. Like if Rodrigo goes and plays 9, and he ends up getting a brace, I think that completely turns his season around. Because he just needs a chat. Like if he gets 2 games in a row in the 9, that's just what he's been crying out for. And obviously Bamford has just not been giving him that because he's been outstanding.
Yeah.
On Bamford, can we just a little moment for his opportunity to chip?
Oh yes, Oh my God, yeah.
I was so close as well.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
So and because I really felt for Paddy because he didn't really have.
It was on target that I'm sure
all game other than that.
Yeah,
you know, he carried on his running and he carried on his pressing and he worked really hard, but he wasn't really given much to feed off. And at that point, why not have a go at it? And almost came off, almost goal of the season already.
Yeah.
So back onto the predictions. We've obviously got then Fulham in the next round of the Carabao Cup away. Is there stand finish yet? Is the swimming pool open for business on the roof?
It will be where I am.
Yeah, where you are. Absolutely. Whereabouts are you going?
Kos.
Kos. Yeah.
Ooh.
Only how many holidays this year?
Oh, it's just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know,
COVID's
massively affected Holiday Ben, but still managing to get out to Kos. I like it. It's good. It's industrious.
He's earned it.
I have. So go on then, Holiday Ben. What is your prediction?
I just get the feeling like Fulham will just win on penalties or something. It's just us in the cup.
Okay. So that would be a draw.
Yeah.
That you're predicting. What score?
I'm going to go 1-1 and to lose on penalties. Do I get an extra point if we lose on penalties?
Don't get any extra points.
No.
Okay. Just
90-minute
result. Mike?
Right.
I think we beat Fulham. I think we beat them. 2-0.
0-2. That's the same as what Gary said.
It's just for me.
You know what? I think it's just now come as an inconvenience.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
And I've got a feeling he might put a team out as that. I think we get beat. I think we get beat 2-1.
Fulham have won 5 out of the last 6. Obviously, they've just gone down. They did lose to Blackpool. Or maybe they're 15.
They lost to Blackpool.
They did lose to Blackpool at the weekend. They fucked my They're
winning 2-0 against Birmingham now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's half time. So, yeah. It's an inconvenience for us. And it's a game we don't need right now. We just need to get some points in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think we might.
Which is annoying.
The kids in.
And it's annoying because we want to have a cup run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we showed that with the team that he put out against Crew that he kind of fancied that. But I think now
it seems like every time we get to the point where we need to have it would be nice to have a cup run. It's always sort of we need to sort of concentrate on league because we need some points.
I think it'll still be quite a strong team because he played the players in the cup because he wanted them to get fitness.
But then we've now picked up quite a few injuries since then.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably expect Klassen to play.
Yeah.
He's not played yet, has he? Maybe Cresswell, Shackleton.
I think Rodrigo gets 45 minutes and Firpo.
Dan James.
Yeah, Dan James. Dan James alone would rip Fulham.
Maybe so. Were it you that mentioned last week about him looking a little bit sort of over Bielsa weight?
I can't say it was I can't take credit for it, but Gaz said it initially. And then I saw the picture of him being poked and prodded by the medical staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit podgy.
And yeah, I thought that on Saturday when he came in. He seems to have the junk in the trunk.
I don't know if you saw the picture of him during the running at training. He wasn't enjoying himself.
No.
He looked like he wanted to die.
Once again, what the fuck are they doing to players at Manchester United? Because
yeah.
Well,
they just don't seem very fit, do they?
Did you see that comment
From
who's their reserve goalie? Grant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah.
he's come out, they say, "Oh, on a Friday we all have pudding or something like that." But because Cristiano Ronaldo was there, no one went for the the apple crumble or whatever. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Even if it is your cheat day, you shouldn't be eating apple crumble.
Not like the day before
a game,
yeah, and stuff like that. Maybe have it on a Monday, all right, and you can work it off for a week. I mean, I'm not someone to be talking about that kind of stuff.
But that's their job. Like, that's what they're
League,
paid so much money to.
Footballer, Ben.
Yeah.
So then maybe that's what they are doing. Maybe Dan James enjoyed his Friday cheat day a bit too much.
Yeah,
like Lukaku did.
Yeah,
and look at him now.
Well, yeah, exactly. He leaves then. Look at him now.
Yep.
He's ripping up on it, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
he's looking good.
We knew he would.
Yeah. Because we play on Friday night, it gives all Leeds fans a great opportunity. It gives you a Saturday afternoon off. And what better way to do it than to get down to here? Because Ossett United are playing against Yorkshire Amateurs here.
Is that like a derby?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure it's
Ben.
Yeah.
Cannot believe you've just said that.
Well, no, I don't know whether they have like that.
Oh no, this is
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
El Brassica, mate.
Yeah.
I just made that up. I'm taking a week off.
Yeah.
Because obviously Yorkshire Hammers are sort of based Chapeltown area of Leeds.
Yeah.
Brackenedge.
That's
what it's called where they play.
Yeah.
Well, they are
football manager knowledge.
No, I've been there. Played
there. Right. Fair.
Yeah.
Well, it will be a big game.
It will be. Get yourself down to Infield Stadium. It's 3:00 kickoff on Saturday. And yeah, Ossett United are wanting to build on their 1-0 away victory against Frickley last week as well. So obviously building on that.
Yeah. Get yourself down here.
Come and absorb some of the atmosphere. It seems to be really good atmosphere around here. Right?
Although when we came last week, they'd scored it last minute, and Gary said he came down and there was a really good atmosphere, like really good.
Yeah, it's just
a place to be.
Positivity.
Game, yeah.
And why not? When Leeds are playing
not
Friday
doing anything
night?
else. Yeah,
absolutely. So do that. Anything else to talk about, lads? Oh, we got. I tell you what.
I mean,
there's
usually quite a list for shit house of the week.
Yeah.
But
shit house of the week.
I think it's just going to be the whole event, isn't it?
Yeah, because you
just throw all those characters in there.
Yeah,
the pantomime.
Yeah,
of Klopp, Parson, FA.
Yeah.
But 100% not Harvey Elliott.
What about
out of everything he's come out with? With class out of it.
I mean, I think he should have had more Froobs and drank more milk as a kid. He should have had stronger bones. More cheese strings, lad. More cheese strings.
I guess there's
more calcium in your diet.
You could say that he shouldn't be putting his foot underneath.
Yeah.
But
why? What an idiot! Why would you put your ankle under a 6'4" unit?
Watch where you're stepping.
Yeah. No, like honestly, Harvey Elliott, you can't give him enough praise. You could have accused him maybe a season ago of being a bit of a brat and all that, but his loan out at Blackburn has done in the world of good. He's obviously done a lot of growing up and that. Yeah, all credit to him. Him and Pascal have handled it really well.
Yeah.
To say the young lads, they're a credit.
To say the adults and the what I can't think of the right. Yeah, the establishment and all the people in charge haven't.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the biggest one of all, Jurgen Klopp, the biggest fucking crybaby.
Yeah. Well, all the times through this saga where it could have gone off, and they've just diffused it with an Instagram comment, or every time like TalkSport have put something out or Sky Sports put something out. They've just there was
totally
diffused it.
The clip of Klopp when he was asked in the post game what was said to the referee, and he kind of sort of went, nothing important.
Yeah, right.
But then he sort of just stopped and like gazed, like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I just think I want to hear that conversation because that's the I tweeted about it.
Also,
earlier
newsflash: Liverpool are losing 2-1 to Milan. Karma.
That's the Leeds United effect.
That is the post Leeds burnout.
So yeah,
Karma.
I want to know that conversation because that's the only hole missing in the whole thing. We're never going to get the conversation because it's not going to happen. But yeah, that's what wrangles me about it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Completely. And yeah, for that all to be vindicated by the FA as well.
Yeah.
To look at that and just to say, yeah, that's absolutely fine for that to go on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And not turn around and go, that doesn't look right. That process there is not right. They have vindicated by rejecting our appeal and not overturning.
Yeah,
it.
there's a
They're
great
basically saying that is okay. It's okay for managers and referees to perform in that way.
There's a fantastic Ali McCoist quote that I put up on our feed. I'll just read it because I can't speak for all of us, but I think we all kind of agree with it. He says, "I'm not surprised. It just shows you that the FA, are bampots, like fools. It's a scandalous, shocking decision. Anybody with any level of intelligence can look at that tackle, see it was horrific injury, but there was no malice in the challenge at all, none whatsoever. It was not a red card. It was just an unfortunate footballing incident. They had a chance to absolve that boy, Strauch, of any blame, and they've not done it, and it's a shocking decision. They've allowed it basically to hang over Strauch's head now because he thinks I've, potentially damaged or ended this other young professional's career."
Like people have said that about potentially damaging someone's career, and physically, that could have happened to Harvey Elliott.
Yeah,
but what about the other side of that? And I'm not one. I don't like shouting about mental health and what. I mean, obviously, you should speak out about mental health and all that, but I don't like speaking about other people's mental health and what they're feeling. But to me, in a way, there's like the way this has all been handled from, I guess, the FA, Klopp, and all that sort of side of it. Well, what about the mental health of both the players? Because Harvey Elliott's come out and said it was an accident and whatever.
Yeah.
So why can't the FA and the club get behind that? And then you've got the strict side of it as well, where you've got a player who's not doing anything wrong.
Oh, instantly, who's like mortified and regretted it,
and getting quite a lot. I mean, I don't like to get involved in that as well. Like people on Twitter hounding as much as I have done it before myself and stuff like that. But like Liverpool fans were giving Struick some, but it was over something that wasn't anything.
And I tell you what, I do not want Pascal Struick in that position ever again to question, do I dive in?
Yeah.
Because I want him to.
Because you won't want any footballer to not do that. Yeah.
You don't want him.
And that's what
guessing himself, thinking, "Oh, you know what happened."
He doesn't have time to do that. Like in the Prem, you don't have time to be like, "Should I? Shouldn't I?"
No.
You just have to do it. It's muscle memory.
And that's the kind of the argument where the argument got on Twitter on Sunday night that, like, there was a lot of things saying about he's 18 and you can't go on it, but it's a sport. The age doesn't matter in this. You're 11v11 on the pitch, and whether you're 16 or you're 36, 46, whatever age you are playing on that pitch, the tackle is still the same. And also, it's irrelevant in that. And I forgot what we're going to. I had it in my head what I was going to say, but it doesn't. That's not an argument for me. The age thing, and also, it happens in games.
Of course,
yeah.
And it would be different. It would be different if Stroke's gone in on him, 2 feet off the ground, round his knee,
because
absolute sick.
If that's the case,
that's different. That's completely different.
If that's the case, us as Leeds fans as well, we turn around and go, "You fucking idiot!"
Yeah.
Like we're the first to criticize our own. Like never mind, Liverpool fans. Like if we genuinely think it's a bad tackle, we will say it's a bad tackle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I said,
you might get cult hero status like Berardi did with that tackle around the.
But nobody ever turned around. Nobody ever turned around and went, "That's not a sending off."
Exactly. Everyone knew it was. But you're right. I mean,
but you're there for the spectacle.
That was my point.
Players to be injured.
The point was so if you're stopping tackles like that, what is the other option? You just let them run.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So if you no tackle is going to be 100% you're going to get the ball. So what they're basically saying is, if you don't think you're 100% going to get the ball, you should just let them run. Because then there'd be no contest. It'd be stupid.
Yeah,
there's no point in tackling.
We talk about players' careers. How many times does Pascal Struijk let a player run past him because he can't go in and still keep his place in the team?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden everyone's on his back.
Yeah.
Bielsa doesn't trust him anymore.
Yeah, you've let him in and scored.
The fans are saying he's not Premier League quality.
Yeah.
He's not getting a game anymore.
Then,
so you talk about careers.
Yeah, then that, going back to the mental health thing, it destroys him as a player.
Yeah.
Then he
that's the thing,
goes down the system and
like ex-professionals, people who understand the game, agree with the fans who understand the game. It's the people who don't understand the game, the FA, these boardrooms, EFL as well, we had it back then. They just don't understand the game. They don't understand the mindset of players. It's based on like split-second decision-making, muscle memory. You can't apply logic to it. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yeah, in hindsight.
Some of the best tackles, like an inch either way, could have been some of the worst tackles.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's that precision skill that makes defending the art form that it is.
And the chance, everything with it is a chance.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you don't dive in. You dive in at the last resort because you do lose a lot of control.
Yeah.
Especially these days with players who can see you dive in
on the surfaces that we've got.
It the other way, you're going to win a penalty or whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if that's the last resort, and it was at that point. He saw the opportunity and thought, if I dive, with my leg, like you say, get in between me and the ball, and I can
scoop it away from him. Yeah.
And it was the other leg.
Yeah.
That just as a cause of momentum.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All the best, Pascal.
Shit house. Well deserved.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah. All of them.
Craig Pawson, Jurgen Klopp, the FA.
Yeah.
There you go.
Take it as medicine.
and to finish it, it's a shame because we've praised the referees most of the season already.
Yeah. I said that before. It's just a blight on there.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a one-off.
Yeah.
It's bad for us, but hopefully it's a one-off. And
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I think that kind of leads us to the end of episode 160. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. Hopefully, by the time we reconvene next week, we'll have...
Hopefully you can put all this gear together.
It'll be fine. I'll be phoning you in Cos going, Ben, how do we do it? How do we get this working? We'll have another 3 points on the board and be through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. We'll see.
Maybe.
So, but thank you for joining us, Mike and Ben.
Pleasure.
And thank you for listening to us. And only one thing to say, and that's I'll see you.
See you there.